The explosion of online shopping is one reason there are more trucks on the nation's highways than ever before. Those trucks can be deadly. More than 100 people die every week in crashes involving big rigs. CBS News has been investigating one of the industry's largest companies, now asking the Supreme Court to shield it from lawsuits that often follow deadly truck crashes. Jim Axelrod reports.
This is what Ohio State troopers confronted, responding to a crash outside of Cincinnati the day before Christmas 2022.
Can you hear me?
A tractor trailer heading north on I-75 crossed the median and slammed into two vehicles.
They were texting me throughout their drive saying how close they were, where they were, and then I heard nothing.
Amy Ross had planned to host Christmas for her family that year. In those two cars, her mother Kimberly, a sister Lauren, another sister Karen, and brother-in-law Jeremy Bainey.
And that's when we got in touch with the police, and the police said they're all gone and there was nowhere to go. There was no hospitals to go visit them at. They were just gone.
It's like, this can't be real.
For Jeremy's parents, David and Mary Bainey, the loss was catastrophic. But making it even more painful, their daughter-in-law Karen was 5 months pregnant.
I wish he was here. I wish Karen was here. I wish the baby was born.
The driver of the truck, a Cuban national with a green card, had left Miami 2 days earlier in a truck that police said had a stolen federal registration number.
Empty. Where'd you deliver at?
Yeah, I'm delivering Walmart.
A toxicology report showed elevated levels of cocaine and methamphetamines in his system. After the crash, the driver fled back to Cuba.
How does a guy like this end up hauling goods for Walmart?
I don't think that this driver or many others like him end up on the road, but for the broker turning a blind eye.
Michael Iserman is the Ohio family's attorney. He says the driver was just a cog in a much larger system fueled by middlemen. Thousands of freight brokers that pair trucking companies with big box stores like Walmart and Target. The biggest broker? C.H. Robinson, a Fortune 500 company that did more than $16 billion in revenue last year.
Do they have their own trucks?
They do not.
So they simply exist as a broker. Walmart needs flowers moved. They contract with C.H. Robinson. C.H. Robinson finds the actual trucks that will move the flowers.
That's correct.
Some 5,000 people died in trucking accidents in 2024, up more than 50% from 15 years ago.
There's part of it that we're having a lot more things delivered than we were before. And everyone who delivers is trying to find some way of avoiding responsibility if they put someone unsafe on the road.
Delilah Coleman was only 5 years old.
President Trump put a spotlight on the issue when he spoke about Delilah Coleman in this year's State of the Union address.
Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up.
In 2024, an 18-wheeler carrying ice cream for Target struck a car she was riding in.
You want to walk down the stairs by yourself, or you want me to hold your hand?
Leaving her severely disabled.
Were you worried your daughter was not going to survive?
Yeah, especially when they told me that her skull got crushed.
Marcus Coleman is Delilah's father.
Hi. She has a mentality right now about an 18-month-old.
The government says the truck driver in this case is from India and was in the U.S. illegally.
That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens.
Give me high fives.
But Marcus Coleman, a trucker himself, and other safety advocates say the legislation only addresses part of the problem. It doesn't hold brokers accountable.
Trust me, I'm upset with the driver, I'm upset with the carrier. But if we don't go after the broker, this is going to continue happening.
CBS News obtained records that tie C.H. Robinson to the truck that injured Delilah. The Colemans are suing, alleging the broker failed to perform an in-depth safety review of the trucking company.
And it's not hard at all. Within 30 seconds, we found out how many out of services he had. We found out how many violations they had, how many suspensions, car accidents.
C.H. Robinson turned down our requests for an interview. The company is fighting the Coleman lawsuit. Our investigation found in the past decade, C.H. Robinson hired thousands of trucking companies that had a history of safety issues. Dozens had hallmarks of chameleon carriers, operators that paper over poor safety records by reconstituting under a new name.
Same trucks?
Same trucks.
Same owner?
Same owner. We'll have cases where they'll change one letter in their name.
And avoid detection.
Yeah, so that they can keep getting loads without changing their safety practices.
The family in Ohio is also suing C.H. Robinson. An analysis of federal records shows the trucking company in that crash had changed names at least 3 times to cover up safety issues. They hauled exclusively for C.H. Robinson. 2 of Dave Hahn's daughters died in the crash.
They're responsible, and that truck was on the road because of them. They enabled it.
C.H. Robinson.
C.H. Robinson.
C.H. Robinson denies responsibility. It says both here and in the Coleman case, the hauler subcontracted the load without its knowledge. The company told us it only works with federally licensed carriers, and only the government has the authority, data, and expertise to determine whether a carrier is fit to operate. Firms sanctioned by regulators are automatically blocked. The company would not say if it conducted any additional safety checks, so we went with an industry source to America's largest trucking show to find out. A C.H. Robinson representative explained how it all works. All that's needed under the law is federal authorization, which requires proof of insurance and a $300 fee, but no safety review conducted by the company.
Okay. But like for us, it's not just about safety before, it's about like on-time delivery, that kind of stuff. Right. That's where you start getting more loads.
The Supreme Court is now hearing a case that will determine whether C.H. Robinson and other brokers can be held liable in truck accidents like Delilah Coleman's. If the court sides with the company,
We get absolutely nothing for Delilah. Delilah, she doesn't gain anything at all.
during oral arguments, a Trump administration lawyer told the justices they were aligned with C.H. Robinson, putting them at odds with the very girl who inspired their truck safety initiative.
So does it shake your confidence in their support for you and for Delilah?
It does. It honestly does.
A few weeks ago, we saw a suspected chameleon carrier pulling out of a C.H. Robinson warehouse in Miami.
It's ridiculous. There's no accountability at all. Nobody's keeping track of any of this stuff.
And the same trucking company in the Ohio crash is back in business, this time under a new name, still hauling loads for C.H. Robinson.
I keep hearing this word, accountability.
Right, accountability. Of course you can't stop everything, but you sure need to make a dent in it and show that you care.